Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to Mordheim, City of the Damned. Finally got around to finishing off the Witch Hunters Warband, so we're going to try out a new PvP build. Thanks to whoever supplied the file, yet again, did a hell of a job. So, just like the other files, we have the whole Warband all sitting here at level 10. Except there's one dude here that's not. But I don't want 4 flagellants. Nobody should. In fact, we're going with all zealots. So it's witch hunters only. No DLC, no, even though they're totally available. Units from other war bands. Maybe they get a Sister Superior, Young Blood. Very exciting stuff. I think marksmen. Hell if I know what they exactly. We can look real fast. Well, you want to do the smuggler's den. That's nothing special. They get a marksman, a Sister Superior, a novice, and a young blood. So I don't know how they would change the builds. Probably not much. Everyone loves this dude. Everyone wants to get a warrior priest into their war bands. They get unlocked through faction reps for the other sisters and mercs. People love them. But we start with them. So I haven't really thought about the build. I mean, I've thought about the builds, but I haven't put anything in character planners. I'm just going to kind of wing it. So what I'm thinking about is the witch hunters are tanky motherfuckers. They kind of grind out wins. You know, I'm playing a Chaos Warband that just can crush people with spike damage, really just mobility and damage and things like that, but they don't have a lot of sustain. If you're able to catch one of the units, you can kill it pretty quick. And these guys are the exact opposite. They just want to grind out wins, make themselves really hard to hit, have heavy armor. So we're going to embrace that and try to build a defensive kind of warband. It'll be a nice contrast to what we've been doing. So the Witch Hunter captain, he starts with Sigmar's Aegis, which is nice. He gets a 20% magic resist right off the bat. So without touching this unit, he has 26 magic resistance. Pretty good, which is nice because they don't have the best magic resist skills. Chaos has Zinch warding as a unique skill. Sisters have, I forget what it's called, but it's a plus 15, plus 30, just like Zinch warding. For all the other warbands, they only get this resist magic, which is a 10-20. So, you know, you could take it, but it's kind of a sink just for... You're probably not going to take the mastery. So just basically getting this 20%, you're basically getting mastery resist magic inherent in this build. So that's pretty nice, because if you just slap on some of the amulets of spell breaking and whatnot, you can have a pretty good magic resist build. So his other thing is he's a dodge unit. He's the parry captain except dodge. Which isn't as useful because a parry reduces counterattack by 1 anyway, but dodge doesn't. But if you save a pill, you can get a dodge counterattack 1 time. So it's kind of a change on that. So a lot of people like to make him a dodge build, sidestep and whatnot. Sort of, quote unquote, take advantage of that, but not really. The other thing he gets good agility, good weapon skill. Those two are the starting ingredients of a melee resist unit. He's also able to take heavy armor, shield as well. So I was thinking about making maybe a hybrid captain because he gets all this ranged and he gets everything. I mean, look, I think he gets everything. Maybe not a flail. I mean, this guy gets almost everything you can get in the warband. So there's a lot of ways to build a captain. And I was thinking about maybe a hybrid ranged melee. Slavier is currently running one of those with his parry captain. And there's a lot to be said for it. You know, ballistic skill each increases hit chance by 2%, the big thing being range damage by 3. So if you up this by 10, let's just say 10, that'll give 15 out of 16. That's 30% more damage and 20% more hit chance. But if you can get it up to like 10, you know, you're not missing that much from the rest. Or you could get something like that. It's not terrible. So you can do a pretty good work with a ranged weapon. Alternatively, you're just dumping into accuracy, which is trying to get a crit or get bypass dodge. I don't know if that's that important with this build we're making. Alternatively, he can get Knowledge and Mordheim Mastery with a book there to get that to 15. He gets the 12 Strength for easy armor proficient, 12 Toughness to guarantee you Mastery Exhaustion. So again, I haven't looked into this. I think if we're going to maximize and make him like a melee resist build, it's going to definitely lock out armor proficient. Mastery at least. Right? This is way too low a toughness for any PvP or just really any unit in the game. Plus we're not getting the mastery exhaustion. So I'll probably do something like you can put two for 12 toughness, that's the key, and then put one more if we use a physical tome. And then you can take basic mastery or basic armor proficient. I think that's something we'll look into. Otherwise this guy's sliding right into leather. Then of course leadership and intelligence. I haven't even outfitted the guy. Maybe I should have done that before firing this up. Trying to look at the initiative ladders. But we're just winging this here. There's something that increases ranged and ballistic skill and weapon skill. Probably be what he'd want. For now we'll just go with weapon skill. The guy would want to use an axe of perforation most likely. The witch hunters have a hard time getting through armor. They don't have any offensive magic per se. The only thing being warrior priest like Sunfire or Soulfire, it's something it's called. I've never used it in my life. Nobody does. It's very expensive. It's 4 red pills. Wow, that's way down there. Alright, so we'll look at this guy. Let's just go with the max. You know, I did kind of have a build for this guy. Let me see. Well, it's not quote-unquote new Rust, but it is like unlocked. I have not made a Warband with it yet. I did have this hybrid captain here saved. Let me see if I can bring him up. This is the hybrid captain I have saved on my desktop. You can see 6, 12, 15, kind of what I was just talking about. Maximizing leadership, intelligence, knowledge, and Mordheim probably. And I don't know. Why not 9, 15, 12? So he gets the defensive stance mastery. I actually want to turn that into hand shot. So hand shot mastery, minus 20% chance to hit. If we're going to make a melee resist tanky kind of warband. And then we're going with quick reload basic, shield specialist, knowledge of Mordheim resilient. So I was thinking something along these lines. He's sitting at 55% melee resist. The shield and the chest piece add 16. So that's, what, 61, 71, and then the stance is 91. So that's pretty good melee resistance. So that's kind of what we're going to be looking at, I think. I have no idea why I went with that alertness. So let's just not care this time. Maybe I was taking staggering blow at some point. And that implies he's going to need the physical tome. Let's see what are in here. I don't even know what's in here. Looks like plenty. Is there tome of abilities? Oh, there's 11. Great. If you guys want these files, we kind of need to know you have the DLC, though. I'm not trying to get in trouble from the company. You're welcome to have us and join us here in the PvP world. So it looks like he's stuck in leather as well, I guess we've decided. We'll just do this for now. We'll try not to overthink it. So there's Eberhard von Druck. We'll rename them at some point. I guess we'll start with the defensive stance. So you can see at 61. That'd be 81. Am I missing something? Oh, we didn't take shield specialist yet. So we'll get shield specialist. I think there's quick reload was in there. Hand shot. Take some hand shots. This guy is probably going to end up looking a lot like Slavier's captain, I believe. I believe he has mastery hand shot. So now we're on the Templars. The biggest problem with the Templar is last stand. Always fight to the death. No use of flee or retreat. But he is immune to all alone, fear, and terror. So once this guy's in combat, he's in combat. So people take advantage of that. You can lock him down with the henchman and just kind of keep him in place there if you have a tanky henchman. So this guy needs to battle through things that have engaged him, fight his way out. So you want to make sure he does some damage. So you're going to need the strength and toughness and everything going into weapon skill. He could technically take a bow and stuff. That's what's kind of funny. You can make this guy a hybrid kind of unit as well. Never see that, but I think he pumps most of it in there. Yeah, he's going to have shit ballistic skill anyway. I think you want the knowledge of mobility is so important in this game. And leadership obviously isn't that important, but it's going to help you overall leadership for your team. I think getting this to mastery staggering blow is going to be important though, so we'll look at that. And then you're going to want the 12. I'll probably give him armor proficient, max toughness. So maybe up his morale for the whole team. You don't want that way too small. Seems pretty straightforward to me. And I think what you want to take here is a book of weapon skill. I don't care much for accuracy. Let's just not have to worry about weapon skill anymore. Let's get that going. And then I think toughness or a physical tome, you can get the strength up even higher because we want to kill things. We just said that, right? So let's get that to 15. So you're looking at, this is like a possessed. This is kind of what possessed do. Marauders. He's cut from the same cloth. He just wants to utterly destroy things. So we don't have to worry about weapon skill. That's max. So something like armor of toughness is pretty common. Just this guy is already at 350. He's like such a beefcake. You can see we're taking mastery hardy, just combined with the helmet of constitution. I mean, this guy's at 400, and I haven't given him any skills. So you can imagine with mastery hardy, he's just a brute force. And then you have all that armor. I'm still in desktop view, aren't I? Let's get rid of that. And it's pretty standard to take an axe of perforation again. Because as I said, they have a hard time chewing through armor. And then a lot of people could go with shield of iron. Now we're already at 60% armor. Or again, he could be a shield of shielding, and we can try to get some melee resist out of this guy. But we're just going to start off with armor proficient. We already know we're going to go this route. Tank and spank. I guess we can just outfit this guy as well while we're here. Maybe I should have prepped this a little more. Maybe you want to see it from the start. I don't know. But I am positive this will not be the only time I respec this warband. I back up the files so we can go back in. We're going to test these things out, and if we don't like them, we can tweak them as we go. Something that, for example, I'm not looking at all is initiative. We might not like our initiative ladder when we're done here. Looks like those weapon skill books have been very popular in this warband. We might run out of them. So something you'll see a lot of with these guys are frenzy. Since they have so much HP and armor, you don't really care about taking a stance. And you take the frenzy for the magic resist and the extra damage. So it's very popular to take mastery frenzy with these guys as well. They are just so tanky though. This is the backbone of your team. Looks like we only had 1 toughness. Should be alphabetized. And you have to wear a helmet with these guys. Otherwise they look like kind of douchebags, don't they? They look like the bad guy from a Disney movie. We don't want to look like the bad guy from the Disney movie. We want to look like this badass. He looks like the good guy from the Disney movie. Or the friendly companion. And these things are important. You'd rather die looking good than win looking like an asshole. I actually did this against against Anier in the BBL 2 championship. I told him I was going to wear helmets just so I didn't look like an idiot instead of amulets. May have cost me. Who knows? I was like, I'd rather die looking good. So there's Adolf Lundorf. Let's get him cooking on the armor per fish. 392. It's crazy. So crazy. All right, so now you come to your warrior priest. The beautiful thing about them, besides being the best casters in the game, at least for support, is there's no penalty to armor. This is, oh no, I have a penalty to casting chance. No, arcane. He's a devotion spellcaster. They don't give a shit. Now you could wear a helmet, but this guy can't wear a helmet. The same thing is with helmets, though. Helmets are for, it reduces arcane casting chance. It doesn't affect divine casting chance. So that said, you probably just want to give this guy a pendant of constitution. You can give him an amulet. It depends on your opponent, you know. There's nothing wrong with the pendant to try to make sure he doesn't fail it all alone or something. You want to make sure he has his turn. That works fine for me. Pretty sure that's how I typically build these guys. I think I slap in a weapon skill book again. We're going to run out. You want the knowledge and Mordheim mastery? The 15/15 is pretty standard here. And then there's no reason not to maximize toughness. Except, wait, we do want armor proficient, I think. So yeah, what I think I typically do is slap in a physical tome and a weapon skill. We're going to run out of these. Sorry, felt that coming. He gets the Tome of Magic. These guys are going to take forever to train because you have to train magic and skills. And then slap the last one into there, maximize your toughness, and then may as well get one more there. So he's not going to be a melee resist. That 9 is basically saying you're fucked anyway. He can do a little bit of it. But this is what you want to do, guys. You want to take a Sigmarite Hammer of Devotion, which is giving you a -12 curse chance. Then you should always take a Sigmarite Hammer of Conspiracy because of what we just talked about. Oh my god, you're going to blow up. Look at this curse chance. That's for Tzeentch curse. This guy doesn't suffer Tzeentch curses. He suffers divine wrath. So this doesn't even exist. Just ignore that. So you're just left with, you have a plus 10% spellcasting chance. That's pretty fucking awesome. You know, that's like, there's a, why did I take Constitution? I should be taking Pendant of Devotion. Where are you guys at on that? Come on. Piety? There. Amulet of Piety. Whatever. We can make a pendant of Piety. There's one right there. I think I'd prefer the pendant because look at that's healthy right there. So a lot of your bread and butter spells, Armor of Righteousness is going to be, what's that? 80%. So 85% casting chance. With that hammer, you're at 95. So that's the best you can get. You have a 95% casting chance every time. So that's what you want to go with. This guy's going to get armor proficient. We're going to be tank and spank. I think I'm already out of weapon skill books, so that's going to be annoying. These guys don't do magic damage again, so there's no reason to go beyond 15. And look at that morale pool. He's making up for the Templars, that extra 8. What are we going to do? I think my zealots all need weapon skill books too. Zealots have terrible hit chance. We're making hybrid zealots. I'm kind of happy with my zealot build. It's going to be fun. You can see hole poker zealots against True Griffin. They just fought as a hell of a match. It's on Karin's Mordheim channel. Just look it up. Yeah, it should be up there. I co-casted with him. And you can see his zealots are going to be similar to mine. He has some melee resist, dodgy, really good zealots, and they were really hard for True Griffin to hit. So. Alright, so you can get, there's another toughness. This guy had it all on already. That's great. Which brings us to these guys. So what am I talking about? They get really good agility. They can't wear heavy armor anyway, so who gives a shit about 6 strength? So you want them to hold the line. So I think we're going to be doing something like this. We'll have to look into that. They're not going to do any damage though. That's going to be our one problem. But they're here to kind of like hold shit up. They are not immune to All Alone and Fear or any of that stuff. So you're going to do your basic 9 for Knowledge of Mordheim and then everything else into Leadership. You're going to maximize the weapon skill as shit as it is and try to maximize Ballistic. So 12 and 12 isn't terrible. Maybe these guys aren't getting a weapon skill book. We might put it over here somewhere. We should probably get this maximized. This. Let me see. Probably again axe. These guys might need mace as a perforation actually with their shitty weapon skill. There's so many things to load here. It takes a second. I meant to sell some of this stuff off. There's just too much in here. Hammer like there's so many useless things in here. I need to sell them off. Whatever, for now he can just get an axe of perforation. And what we want to see is his shield of shielding. So he's already at 56%, which is pretty good. So the other thing I haven't mentioned yet is we're going to rely upon fear. So I have a Bow of Dismay. And the thing with this, I don't know if this is a programming oversight, but you can get a Dismay weapon and you can get a Dismay helmet. So every shot this guy lands is minus 24% to All Alone, Fear, and Terror. Well, why do the Witch Hunters care about that? Well, this guy has probably the most broken spell in the game. Armor of Righteousness. Grants immunity to fear and provokes fear on engaged enemies. Increases armor absorption by 20% on the mastery. So we're going to be taking that. And then we will cause fear. We're walking thralls now, or whatever else possessed, things that cause fear. And if we're shooting you with Dismay stuff, you're going to have no chance of passing that. You're just going to suffer fear, which gives you minus 30% hit chance, which is crazy good. So combined with hand shots and defensive stances, I think this is going to be a hard warband to hit. If you hit the warband, you're then going to be hitting a wall of iron. Just not doing a lot of damage. So that's the principle behind this warband. So we're also going to stack basic and mastery hand shot. So these guys all get hand shots. So they're all going to get Armor of Righteousness, which is going to give them some tankiness, and then they're going to induce fear on targets that they're hitting with their Bow of Dismay. That's the theory. This is what we're going to try to build as a warband. This guy's got some agility thing. I don't know. He's an assassin. I think that's the assassin chess piece. Did this guy get a book and all that? I don't think he did. An abilities tome. He's never going to dodge, bypass, or crit anybody in his life. But that's fine. That's fine. mean, I could see taking a martial. Get that ballistic skill to 15. I could see taking physical to get the toughness up. I don't know. We take leadership and get 2 more leadership and 1 more intelligence. A little bit more magic resist. I don't know. Maybe 1, 2, and 1. They need a little strength. The thing with ballistic, it doesn't give a shit about strength. Damage with ballistic is tied to this skill, so you can get 9% more damage and 6% more hit chance if I put it in ballistic skill. So maybe we'll just try that. I don't know. We can experiment with it. This guy doesn't even need any of the books. He has no skills left to spend it on. These trainings. There's no stats, so why even use one, I guess. We're also out of the martial, the weapon skill books anyway, so all the more reason, I guess. Take the ballistics martial grimoire. So the problem with the witch hunters, I will probably have a hard time hitting things too. If I go up against a fellow melee resist warband, I'm really gonna have a hard time, I think. But you can't have it all, can you? Have any dismay stuff? I have to invent them. Try out a pendant. That's not terrible. You can do a pendant of courage. Knowing your opponent, you might have to put a pendant of courage. And you should be just fine with that. So let's just do helmets of dismay for now. Gives him a little bit more armor. Stun resist. Plus he looks like a badass with some chainmail hood on. What we're doing, dismay. It's one of the ones that's not alphabetized for some reason. You can be an assassin, that's fine, if that's what your mom wants you to be when you grow up. I thought I made some dismay bows already. Maybe I didn't. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Too many one-handed weapons, the game kind of freezes. And everyone's just taking hand shots right off the bat. This is where I would cut away and come back if I was actually good at streaming and making things. Or I would have done this beforehand and just pointed out to you what I'm doing. I guess that could have been a thing too. But we're just winging it right now. Sorry. This is where I can tell you, you can now skip ahead a little bit if you don't want to see the clicking. This is when it goes on the YouTube channel. If you're watching now on Twitch, sorry. So there's been a lot of Daredevil builds too. I think this little bit of dodge will be nice as well. I could have done a book of agility and a physical and pumped this up even more, so that'd be 15% more dodge. So that's something to think about too. Like 1 accuracy, what is even the point? I think the game's telling you like make a hybrid build. Like it's gonna take a while to get that to do anything. 1. It's like I don't think any other unit gets a 1 in something. It's crazy. And I really haven't looked at these guys, but they get, look at this accuracy they get. They get headshots so easy. Boom, headshot. And you do a book of ballistic skill. They never have really good ballistic skill, but you get mastery headshot just like that. Plus they make really good crit builds with that high base accuracy. In theory, you could make a Daredevil build, give them a book of strength, pump everything into accuracy, the rest into weapon skill and the chest piece of weapon skill, and then try to do some daredevil stuff with these guys. It'd be it'd be interesting to look into these witch hunters. No one ever fucking takes them. They thought of as a trash unit. They're a lot like the mutants or Youngblood. They have this awful leadership, which can make them tough to bring in the battle. But if you're going against someone that doesn't cause fear or terror, or you can control your all-alones, it's not that big a deal. So again, you can take some really good melee resist builds. Look at that, 16. He gets that 15. This is like typical for mutants, Youngbloods. They all get this like 15, 15, 15. So you can make like mastery awareness, which is plus 10 melee resist. Get the agility and weapon skill high and make like a tanky melee resist build with this guy. So there's a lot of options for the Witch Hunter. I'll have to look into him, but I think I'm going to be doing another mastery hand shot kind of build. But we don't need 11 or 12 units right now, so we won't worry about it too much. We can skip plenty of days, I think, without we can build them up later if we want. So let's get on with building the skills before I bore you guys completely to death here. Well, that's a passive. The thing about melee resist is it goes down to 1% hit chance. A lot of things you still have like that 5%, 95, so you have a 5%, 1 in 20 chance of not connecting or dodging or, you know, things like that. But with melee resist, it goes all the way down to 1. 1 out of 1. You have to hit a 1 out of 100 to land it, so.
New hired swords are available.
Ooh, new hired swords. How exciting. Alright, so I do have a template with these guys I was kind of going off of. Let me see if I can find it. Bring it up shortly. I think I did. Maybe I didn't. No, I must not have. I probably deleted it or didn't save it. Shit. I'll have to really use my skills. Think about it. We know we're taking defensive stance. So let's get that going. So let's look at what that would be, right? So he has this weird assassins thing. Let's do a weapon skill. Once it loads everything. Alright, switch to this. 56, you're looking at 66 melee resist. Which is pretty good for a henchman. If you can get that fear to proc, that's going up to 96. That's pretty goddamn good. Right? For a henchman, that's pretty good. Plus if you do a hand shot, it'll be 106. If you get the mastery off. So you can start to see where we're going with all that. Oh, we haven't even taken... I think these guys take shield proficient. That'll add another 5%. I can't remember. We'll have to watch our skills. Just keep up the martial. These guys are going to have a good hit chance with the bow. With 15 ballistic skill on the bow, which adds 12 hit chance. You're looking at a pretty good hit chance with these guys. So it's not like they're just melee units. So a lot of people build just melee henchmen or just ranged henchmen. I've been looking more and more at making these hybrid kind of henchmen that can fill either role. Because what happens is you're like, oh, I caught up to that ranged henchman, and you lock him up against the wall, and he's pretty much useless for the rest of the match. He might dodge and be lucky and shit like that, and draw out the battle a little longer. But if you make these like hybrids, then it's like, oh, no problem. Let me just switch over to my axe and shield and still actually be competent and be able to survive, you know? So I like that kind of role. I've been moving towards that more and more in my henchman builds. Especially in PvE where the AI is retarded, right? You can do whatever you want. Switch to these one-handeds, wait 2 minutes for it to load. I've really got to do some inventory management. Too many things loading. Oh, this guy's supposed to start with a bow. Oh my god. I've always heard the game gets a little laggy with loading inventories. That's the one thing. Yeah, okay, let's load the one-handed axe. Perforation. I think Mesa Perforation's the way to go with these guys, though. That gives that +8 hit chance. We'll see. And did he get a skill? He's training. And we'll just outfit the last guy, sorry. And then we'll just be pumping up skills. There's the bow. Let me get it. And we might run out of time, but I'm hoping to run out there against the AI, but I might run out of time here before the wife gets home. These take a while, a little longer than you realize. All the way at the bottom. And I think that's the last guy to outfit, isn't it? Oh, you're not training anything. Alright, let's keep going with the armor proficient. So the way I was going to do this is just take skills I know are core skills for all builds mostly, and then think about it at that point, what we want to fit in. Like Hardy Mastery would be nice, but it's kind of a luxury. You're already at 400 HP. Do you really need it? Okay, defensive stance, quick shot, or hand shot. So I think I give them quick reload. I know they're all going to need resilient and knowledge of Mordheim, so we can get the knowledge of Mordheim cooking. Well, you don't need knowledge of Mordheim, but it's going to be able to. It's going to be nice to be able to move to places and lock targets down. So you can't usually go wrong with knowledge of Mordheim. Resilience is pretty much a core skill too, to get that 20% crit resist to try to avoid most crit chances. In most cases, you're going to be pretty good with 20 plus, especially against the AI.
Market stock has been replenished.
Oh, let's see if there's a tome or something. Do I have any mentals? I don't know. I must. We'll just grab them while we're here. Nope, not that. I don't want that. Alright, what else were we taking? I think defensive stance, right? The thing with defensive stances, too, is they can't be broken. You can break Web of Steel with a nerve shot. You can break Sidestep with a nerve shot.
New hired swords are available.
Everybody is ready. So I'm not sure this guy's going to take defensive stance. We are going to take resilient. Again, 30 crit is going to be really nice. You could almost argue he doesn't need it sitting at 20 crit resist, but we really don't want these guys getting crit. If they get crit, especially if they get stunned, armor does nothing. So it's important that they not get crit. So these guys probably want devotion. I know they're taking knowledge in Mordheim. Whoa. These guys kind of build themselves. Oops, I just clicked knowledge in Mordheim. Whoops. Again, resilient. It'd be pretty standard for most henchmen. I keep double clicking that. Did I give them tomes of ability? We'll figure it out. Definitely don't need to consider veteran. Let's put that out there. Not that important. Next day. Next day.
New hired swords are
Great. Ship
New
this guy
shipment request
some of the green ganja. It's close enough to me. Alright, resilient, armor proficient. So we're good there. I think we're getting that knowledge of Mordheim. I think I'm taking staggering blow. I just like staggering blow so much for slow fucking units. It's a good way. So what happens is a henchman gets on these guys, or even a hero, and they go into this like web of steel, right? And then you have to waste a couple attacks just to fucking break their stance, and then you can do some damage. So if you can do a couple attacks to break their stance and then land some staggering blows, then suddenly they're below you, and then on your next turn you can just fucking hit the shit out of them and get right through them and fight your way through them. So that's a good reason to like staggering blow. Not a lot of things are going to be slower than 43 initiative. So there's staggering blow. It takes 9 to master. That's why I got the 9 alertness. I think he'll probably take at least adrenaline rush, if not mastery adrenaline rush. We could start to do the math. If you do 2 staggering blows, that's 6 red pills, and then 2 regular attacks is 4. So you could maybe get away with regular adrenaline rush. You attack to break a web of steel, and then stagger blow, something like that. So I know we're taking that. We're probably taking exhaustion mastery, so he can get to where he needs to get. What other would we want? Shield specialist? I don't know. Should have built this guy out on paper a bit more. I believe Hole Poker built him with Ignore Pain. That's like almost over the top. I think he even had Ignore Pain Mastery. But for the small, low cost of 10 wounds, you get 10% more armor absorption. Really make these guys tank. Again, Frenzy's an option. Pretty standard. 30% damage. And then that magic resist always helps. I can't handle 6 movement though, so we'll just take Knowledge of Mordheim. So if you take the Knowledge of Mordheim and then Mastery Exhaustion, that's, you know, you're getting 7 movement over 10 pills now. So that's 70 movement versus 6 over 42, right? So you can see where the exhaustion Knowledge of Mordheim really lets you get to places. That's why it's just so important in PvP. 42 versus 70, that's a big difference. The case could be made where I don't need mastery. Maybe the 7's okay. I might have to think back on that for the next time I make these builds. Resistance, Knowledge, Mordheim. He's going to get quick reload. So these guys are basically like 5 ranged units who are also really tanky. I mean, I think it's going to be decent for us. Because you as the opponent are like, ha ha ha, I've tied you down. It's like, actually, I just tied you down. So Devotion. He's gonna get that knowledge of Mordheim. We could always just build these slightly different. I've built so many warrior priests though, it's almost like mechanical. He's gonna take the quick reload. By the way, crossbow pistols are probably the ranged weapon in the game. Best ranged weapon. They're just so good. You get armor bypass, 12%, plus you put perforation, you get 32% armor bypass. And this is a bow. So the bow adds... Okay, this is a bow as in it only takes one strategy point to reload, is I guess what I'm looking at, as you can see there. So it's like a bow if you replace plus 12% hit chance with 12% armor absorption bypass, which is really good. So I think they're really, really good weapons. 32%. I mean, you could just crank out some damage with these. So it's actually what he should be starting with. Let's make the game crash a little bit. Come on. I mean, the AI will have no chance against this kind of warband. Just no chance. And again, it gets back to these new Daredevil builds. This guy's sitting there with like 85%. It's pretty fucking good. Like, only the Skaven are going to get through that. These guys are almost done. They finish so fast. I think we're going to want Adrenaline Rush. It's pretty standard. Switching weapons costs 1 red pill and 2 blue pills, so you want to get that pill back. Or you can do 3 shots because it gives you 6 red pills. Pretty much every henchman in every PvP contest has Adrenaline Rush just to up their damage output. 5, I mean, what's the point? Now if you're doing a that lets you get to do 2 hand shots, for example, instead of just 1. There's just so many reasons to take it. So
Market stock has been replenished.
yay, good for the market stocks. Was this guy going to be shield specialist? I don't remember anymore. Let me look. I think he was. He had Adrenaline Rush, Shield Specialist, Knowledge, Mordheim, Resilient. Yeah, we need all those. How do I feel about Marksman? Lad's got talent for Mercs. I actually like Youngbloods better. Youngblood. I talked about this in the video I made of them, but Marksmen start with 12 toughness. I think Lad's Got Talent Marksman only gets 11. And it gets the 15 intelligence as well. Now, this guy, it doesn't, remember, they get more points. He's only level 7. So he's able to get max toughness and then maxed intelligence. So you can get knowledge and Mordheim mastery and exhaustion mastery. So you have insane movement over the marksman. The marksman can't get, they might be able to get 12 toughness. I think you have to use a skill book to get these to where they need to be. So basically they can either get knowledge of Mordheim mastery or they can get exhaustion mastery, but they can't have both. The Youngblood can have both. So he also has 5 slots for passives. So I just think he works better than the Lad's Got Talent Marksman. What you're trading is for that chain shot. Chain shot's really good if you want to make something with headshot, because you do a couple chain shots and then your headshot. You can take a basic headshot and have a really good hit chance. So that's why you would take a Lad's Got Talent Marksman. But I think these guys make just perfectly fine ranged units, ranged heroes. So that's what I would say. They got the right skills in the right places for archery that I like, at the cost of chain shot. Quick reload. What we're doing? We need resilient and knowledge of Mordheim. Let's get those in here. Since he is going to be in combat, you want to take some of that resilient. I think we know we're taking adrenaline rush, at least the basic. So let's drop those in. Skip ahead. I mean, these guys are going to be done way before, and then we got to train magic on these assholes. So we're looking at 2 skills left. That's the thing with or with just henchmen. Look at, they could take 9 fucking things. Like, I mean, you only have 1 slot left over. They take so many skills because they can only take basics and not mastery. So you take so many skills with these dudes. Do hardy. Avoid can help that dodge thing he's got going. We could drop in the shield specialist, which isn't a terrible idea. Give me more melee resist. I don't think we need to worry too much more about it. I don't really like a lot of the passive ballistic skills. Since we're talking about marksman, like ranged attack bypass 5% of target's armor absorption. Do you know how like little that is? Let's just say this guy, we'll round. It's probably like 45, but we'll just say 40. He does 40 damage a shot. You're bypassing 5% of the armor. So 10% of 40 is 4. Half of that is 2. So you do 2 more damage. 2 more fucking damage. So would you like to do 2 more damage? Take Eagle Eyes. Like that is pretty much fucking pointless. Now if you take the mastery, you're doing 4 more damage over more attacks. You could start to see where it maybe pays off. And there's no guarantee that you need all that armor absorption bypass anyway. Maybe you're just shooting a cloth target. So you've gone over the armor absorption. Overhead is very specific. If we talked about ballistic skill, each one of these increases hit chance by 2%. Wow, that's like getting 2.5 more ballistic skill. That's not that great. Trick shooter, again, that goes with the overhead. But overhead is situational. You have to literally be above them. This always works, so that's better than that. So you should always get trick shooter before you get overhead, right? So then that's basically getting 2.5 more ballistic skill. Bullseye is the only one I would really take, because this gives you plus 10% more hit chance. That's like taking 5 ballistic skill. Now we're talking about something being worth it. When you aim, you also get 5% more crit chance. So if you're using Bullseye, you also get plus 10% more aim when you take an aim shot, and you're getting 5% more crit chance. Now we're talking. This is about the only skill I'll take out of this passive tree that's not quick reload. And then sharpshooter, if you're making specifically a crit build, it can be nice. So just a little aside there, or a lesson for the day there. So I could see hardy. I probably could go with the shield specialist. Let's fucking do it. These guys are supposed to be melee resist. That's 1 out of 20 times they'll miss instead now. So I think it's worth it. Plus it gives you a little bit more parry. So when these guys are, say you don't take a defensive stance, or for whatever reason you want to parry, it gives you a little bit better parry. I don't know. Say you're out of, you only have 2 blue pills left, so you can't go into the 4 blue pill defensive stance. You can take a 2 blue pill parry. So that's all right, you know. So what's that getting them up to as well? That's going to be 59. So basically 60 with the defensive stance, 70 melee resistance. Remember, these are just henchmen. So that's pretty fucking good. They're going to be hard to hit. I mean, what else do you take here? They basically need piety if you're going to use healing hands. They don't have any offensive, so a lot of units I take improved prayer or the arcane version, because you want to bypass the magic. But these guys don't give a shit about that. You can take more spells, which honestly isn't the worst thing. You could take crit resist. He's at 19 though, which is nice. That's that toughness right there. So he almost doesn't even need resilient. I think we'll take the knowledge and more. You want these guys to be able to retreat. So I'm probably taking mastery exhaustion. That's going to be 10 more meters of movement by taking, because I'm going to be able to get the 10 blue pills. One more movement is 10 more meters on the actual map, which can make a big difference between life and death. So I always take it, so may as well do it again. And I'll be right back. I have to use the potty, guys. Sorry. Alright, a lot of shit to train again, huh? These guys did not get tomes. I thought I ran out of tomes. Or just stopped handing them out. Come on. And again, I am certain this will not be the only time we recreate this warband. We're trying to get the right warband to take for maybe a future tournament. And if you guys are interested in the tournaments, check them out. We're trying to get people into them. You can get these files and come and join us. We might be doing a progression league or just more level 10 stuff. So the only thing left is an active. I mean, this isn't terrible, honestly. Give him more armor, but I don't think so. Wall Runner, I saw pretty neat. Slavery's using that. I didn't realize, so I figured you get like one chance if you fail. Alright, your turn's over. But you can actually keep using Wall Runner over and over and over and over until you succeed at it. So that's pretty nice. Careful approach can be nice if you don't want to take range damage, which these guys might be weak to ranged. So even though you have good melee resist, alright, we're looking good. Oh, they just shoot you with a bow. So taking careful approach is a really defensive approach to the build. Might be over the top, but it makes you pretty much immune to ranged and melee. Insult might be something they really need too, actually, for hit chance. Because these guys have piss poor. So this is like getting, okay, melee reduced by 10. That's like getting 5 weapon skill. Because each weapon skill increases hit chance by 2. So you use insult, that's like plus 5 weapon skill. So it's a pretty good skill. That's why a lot of people use it. Meditation, or I guess it'd be introspection. If we're actually an archer, that can give you even more red pills. Staggering blow can work. But 10 is not that, it's stackable, but you could drop someone's by initiative by 20 if you use adrenaline rush and 2 staggering blows. We do some knee shots, try to fuck with initiative. I don't know. I really don't. I always like a good knee shot. Nerve shot to break stances. Breaks web of steel. Just really, really nice, actually. So knee shot and nerve shot I like a lot. Insult. Problem with insult is you use it, you can't take a defensive stance. So we've already ruined our defensive stance. I've been thinking about intimidate. This guy could come up to a target on the Templar and intimidate them and try to get them to run away from the Templar. So, I don't know. Because the Templars can't disengage. We talked about that. I don't know. I'll have to think about it for those guys. We don't have to spend the pills yet. This guy needs devotion. Resilient. I mean, Hardy looks good on these guys. Frenzy. I think you gotta take Frenzy. It's pretty standard for these guys for that damage we talked about. He might need Insult as well. If they're he can insult something and then the henchman can come onto it. I just like Staggering Blow way too fucking much. I just love Staggering Blow. Especially for slow units. It's such a dangerous thing. It's like, I locked you down, and then he just stagger blows and flips the initiative ladder on you. Both probably didn't need it, but whatever. YOLO. I'm going to have to overthink this stuff. I'm going to rebuild the band. I already know it. I rebuilt the sisters like 1,000 frickin' times. He needs knowledge of Mordheim. We'll think about it once these guys are done, what we're doing. Oh wow, okay, Spider with hunting rifle. So the problem with gunpowder is it just takes so many blue pills to reload and stuff. You're really kind of stuck in spot. The thing about marksman though, yeah, you can take gunpowder and take adrenaline rush. You can fire 2 gunpowder shots. That's pretty strong. But most players take the bow and do... well, of course you're talking about Lad's Got Talent as well, though. I mean, if you want that, you can just take a smuggler. I like taking a smuggler with the dueling pistols. She does a lot of good stuff. Yeah, he said Abaddon said that. Oh, you don't have the DLC, but just wanted to test a sniper shot. So, Spider, I like passive crit builds. I don't like trying to crit. I think you can make perfectly good ranged builds, ranged crit builds that kind of crit passively. So what I'm talking about is you take a bow and you're going to get your enchanting misfortune. Where the hell is it? Misfortune. When dealing damage, reduces the target's critical hit resistance by 4% for 1 turn. So a hero could fire 6 times when you use Mastery Adrenaline Rush. 6 times 4 is 24. That's minus 24 crit resistance. That's basically going to leave most units at 0 crit resistance. Right? And then so we just talked about the other skill I said is worth training on crit archers, which was Sharpshooter. So if you train up Sharpshooter as a passive, you combine that with the Misfortune rune, you're going to start getting some crits. I don't know if I can see him because I'm totally trained up. Let me go to an untrained unit. So someone like this, like he said, he gets really good accuracy off the get-go. So he's going to have a good passive, just standard crit chance sitting right there. You could give this guy a Sharpshooter. Each shot 4% less. Take 6 shots, that's 24. So that's 50% by your last shot. I guess it technically wouldn't be, your turn would be over. So you'd be like 42% or whatever it is by your last shot. Give or take, you know. I'm rounding. 40 I guess it would be. So you're good. You probably have landed a crit by then. But you're not wasting red pills trying to crit someone. You're just shooting at them. So you're going to do damage no matter what. Oh, look, I crit him too. You know, I really don't like wasting the pills on something like Vital Shot. I mean, it's nice, but I'd rather do guaranteed damage. I know I'm going to damage you, and I might crit you. I'd much rather do that. There's plenty of ways to do that. I don't know. Can this guy take gunpowder? I think you can. For an example, I'm just trying to show you an example of a weapon. So you use the sharpshooter, use the misfortune rune, and then I think pistols or handgun? Is it a handgun? No, pistols. Alright, +7 crit chance. You know, you can start to just build in passive critting without actually spending stuff on critting. So, that's what I would do, in my experience. I find it works much better that way. Yeah, exactly. You're wasting all these red pills, maybe getting a crit, versus just take Mastery Adrenaline Rush. You have 12 red pills. This is why I'm saying toughness is so good. Because you get Mastery Adrenaline Rush. You get Mastery Exhaustion. Okay, you're hurting yourself. You're a new player. You're like, I'm already dying anyway. But once you there's going to be a point where you're not. And then you can start to play with offensive builds. When I first started, everything was defensive. Yeah, you don't want to die. But once you learn the game and the buildings and maps and layouts and units and what does what, you can start to experiment. You can take this Mastery Adrenaline Rush. So then you got 12 red pills. You know, each one's only 2 red pills. That's why we like bows, crossbow pistols, things like that. Mastery Quick Reload, Mastery Exhaustion in case you need to use more reloads. You can shoot 6 times a round easily. And with built-in passive kind of crits, you're going to start critting people. So you're going to get the damage and you're going to get the crits versus I get 2 shots here, I better land them and hopefully they crit. Oh, they didn't. I only did like 40 damage. You know, it's a big difference. Big, big difference.
New hired swords are available.
He was taking Shield Specialist Mastery, wasn't he? Stagger Blow, Adrenaline Rush. You probably need Mastery Adrenaline Rush on these guys. It's probably what I'm going to end up doing. For what I just talked about, I mean, so you have this pool to just pull from, a 400 HP pool. You may as well get the 12 red pills for 6 attacks and just hit the shit out of someone, doing 50 damage a turn. That's 300 damage if they have 0 armor. And if you use the staggering blow, you could do about 150 damage, I don't know, 200. And your turn comes up again and just wail away and kill the target. Thing is, once I take Mastery Frenzy, this is going to go up to like 60 to 70 damage a hit. You're causing some self-harm, of course, but if your armor's insanely high and you have good melee resist and everything's afraid, you're not going to be taking a lot of damage from your opponents, right? Let's get the Exhaustion. Exhaustion is a very important PvP skill. It's very nice in PvE as well. Again, when you're a new player, you're like, oh, I need stances. Everyone needs Web of Steel and Sidestep and all that. They're very expensive for pills. They take so many pills. So what's better than Web of Steel and all that? Well, how about 100 meters movement, 90 meters movement, all this movement, 70 meters movement? You just retreat, and then the opponent will never reach you. Then you don't even have to care about a stance. You just run away. Of course, you need to know how to run away and where to run away to. That's its own set of skills. I mean, you can make these guys into daredevils. I'll look into it, but I don't know. I can make an Order Warrior Priest boss, but I'm trying to change it up here. If I want to do that, I'll just play my Chaos Warband. I'm trying to build a tanky, spanky Warband. It's like, why do that with this Warband when other Warbands do it better? Just play those Warbands.
Market stock has been replenished.
We're actually fucking running out of money. Let's sell a bunch of shit. Turns out training a Warband's expensive from scratch. How about a bunch of oil bombs? I just can't say enough thanks to whoever actually played this Warband. You got all this leveled up. That's good on you, bro. That recharges the accounts a little bit. Let's get that mastery exhaustion. We're running out. So we get another mastery, and then I usually always take Web of Steel. Again, if you remember, I'm not making these guys melee, so they may as well do Web of Steel. I mean, maybe I could do defensive stance, but there is a place for Web of Steel too. I only take basic. I never take mastery. I don't think it's worth 4 more skill points just for 1 more parry. Like, that's a really bad return on investment. Especially in PvP. Oh, I just nerve shot you. I did a nerve shot. There goes your mastery. So Web of Steel. So what else was I doing with this guy? I think he's getting exhaustion, wasn't he? Yeah, he's getting exhaustion and adrenaline rush. That's how he's going to finish. Exhaustion is just so good. For 30 HP to be able to run all over the place. I think we gotta commit to this. I was thinking about it. I've thought about the builds, I just haven't put them on Pyro Space. The character planner, you should use that for sure. Just look up Mordheim character planner. So you can get a basic and a basic. I guess I hadn't taken defensive stance. These guys are... I think I'll just say fuck it and let them get the Shield of Iron. These are the units I don't care if you actually hit. I don't know, we'll see. Because they're going to have 85% armor after Armor of Righteousness. That's a lot of armor. Straight exhaustion. So we're kind of getting the builds flushed out here. I think I got to take Piety. Hardy's not terrible. But we're probably taking Healing Hands. Plus, if you get plus 10 meters casting range, you can throw Deny the Heretic around farther. There's a lot of good reasons to take Piety with these guys. So what am I talking about? Healing Hands, it's a 3 meter fucking cast. So if you take Piety, you go all the way up to 13. 3 meters, you have to be like licking their balls to cast it. So it's basically really clunky then. So Piety with these guys and Healing Hands is pretty important.
New hired swords are available.
I have to think about something for these henchmen. It's tough leaving a passive out here too. I think we'll get the Hardy. It pays off more the higher level or the more toughness. Well, why is that? Well, if you read the actual description of toughness, which I'm trying to do, increases wounds by 2%. So it's cumulative. The more toughness, the more 2% gives you back, right? That's how banking works, people. Don't get in debt, okay? Pay off those loans. So yeah, the 2% is going to pay off way more. So it's not actually going to go up by 20. You're going to see this go by like 30 something. Which if you have Mastery Adrenaline Rush, you're going to be tapping into. I think I was going to get Exhaustion. I guess I'm not getting Mastery Exhaustion on these guys. I'm definitely, I promise you're going to be looking at a lot of different Templar builds to find the right one. So... But anyway, you want to have that HP pool because you have a lot of armor. You're going to be hard to kill for that reason. And you're going to be using Mastery Adrenaline Rush. So you're going to want a pool of HP to pull from. Right? There's a reason Piety is a mastery level skill. It's pretty good. If you're playing the Sisters and you take this, that gives you 40 meters on your comets. That's the same as a hunting rifle. It's just really fucking crazy. how much mobility that gives you.
Market stock has
That makes
been
you a really
demolished.
annoying opponent to play is what that does. He's got exhaustion. What was the last thing I was taking on this guy? Adrenaline rush, that's right. Yeah, that's where magic, that's why frenzy though, because okay, great, I have all this armor and then one comet hits me for 50 damage. That's going to be for weapon swaps. Takes one red pill to swap out. So yeah, he's 420. So he gained what, 28 HP? And who doesn't want someone with 420? Anyway. So this is where I was really thinking about. So by the way, exhaustion, it's not really worth it for basic. So if you have basic, one strategy point for 30 wounds. If you take mastery, you just get 3. It doesn't cost you any more wounds. You just get 3 instead. Like, that's a really good ratio. So that's why mastery exhaustion is, I don't really worry about basic. It's not really worth the return on investment of HP. Insult's a thing. You might need insults. Otherwise, I was really thinking about intimidate. Oh, he can't get it anyway. Well, that makes that decision for me. You can do a web of steel basic. I mean, but again, if your armor's so high, you really don't give a shit about getting hit. I could see things like burn the witch even if you happen to catch a caster and just fuck it up pretty good. This is one of the witch hunters have really pretty awful active and passive skills, but this is maybe one of their better ones along with trial by pain. But I don't know. Insult might be important. We want to guarantee we're getting those attacks in. The web of steel doesn't fit the theme. This guy's already got 20, so he's got a. So the way it works is you have an 80 base hit chance. So this adds 40 because each one's 2%. So you add 120. Insult will give you 130 hit chance. Now, so if I'm facing my own units, you know, he's only going to get like 30-40% hit chance, even with insult. So you can see the power of it. And that's one of the things that they can struggle. If I, like I said, if I face my own type of warband, I'll probably struggle, ironically.
A new shipment has been requested.
So we'll look into these builds, see if we did something we didn't like. We can tweak things. Like I could change some things here. I think this is pretty standard. At least these 3. You could debate hardy. You could debate staggering blow. I think that's going to be essential no matter what. This might be as well. So you could tweak the staggering blow around. I don't know.
New hired swords are available.
So we're almost done, guys. It's already 420 though. It'd have to be a really fast PvE. I usually go with, like I said, web of steel here. I mean, you may as well get a stance. Like if you get caught, switch to the shield and enter a web of steel. So for 2 skill points left, that's fine. I think I've done this build 1,000 times with warrior priests. I mean, there's only so many ways to build them. They really just kind of build themselves. Like, you could say drop armor proficient. That'll free up some stuff. I don't know. You don't want to cast too many times. Like, you can get to builds that cast a lot, but then you'll just explode after a while. They could be like, oh, I do 3 healing hands. You know, I take quick cast and I could do 4 healing hands, which you could do. You could do 4 healing hands. Well, how do you get there? You take quick cast or quick prayer. So it reduces the next spell by 1 offensive point, but you'll probably want to take Mastery, so it gives you 15% less casting chance. Or is it Plea? No, that's the one that does casting chance, but... So Quick Prayer, yeah, you take Quick Prayer, but now you've lost 15% casting chance, so Healing Hands is already kind of risky, I think. Healing Hands is minus 25% casting chance, so that brings you down to 75. With my hammer, I get to 85, but let's minus 15, so now you're down to 70% cast chance. So you do that, if you cast it 4 times, statistically one should fail anyway, right? And then you're starting to add up the Divine Wrath chance, so you might just fucking explode. I mean, so you just kind of accept that you're going to cast a couple times and then move on with life. So, I mean, there's only so many ways to build these guys.
New hired swords are available.
Alright, so what are we taking? Oh, we've already talked about Armor of Righteousness. Is bread and butter. Like, they're both going to get probably Mastery. You could do things where you stack Basic and Mastery, but I think it's just so important to spam it on everybody. You know, they can both cast it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You know, most likely these guys are getting it. But you want to throw it on, like, the 3 leaders. You can throw it on each other, these henchmen. You're just going to be throwing that around everywhere.
Market stock has been replenished.
That's great. So let's not fuck around and just grab it. I don't even know if I'm going to take Healing Hands. He's got too many goddamn amazing spells.
New hired
That's the
swords
problem.
are available.
That's the problem with these guys. So I have builds where that is the one thing I would do is maybe drop Piety even or the Armor Proficient. This is a build I would do, and I think I've done in the past. I can't show it with him anymore. But take, oh, he's not a magic caster, shit. I think it's called Divine Study. I hate that you can't see the things once you're full. But you can't see it here because it's a passive. It's Divine Study, or something like that. It gives you 6 more magic casting spell points. 6 more spell points. So you can take 1, 2, 3, 4 mastery level spells, because he's got so many good ones. Like Shield of Faith. Okay, my Templars are weak to magic. Okay, let's take Shield of Faith. 25% magic resist. 2 turns. Bam. This is the one we're going to take, actually, because this is fitting our Dismay. Okay, what's Word of Damnation? Reduce magic resistance by 10, and reduce all alone fear and terror, so by 30. We want those Armor of Righteousness to trigger. So we're going to take that. Deny the Heretic. This is fitting the melee resist builds. Hit chance reduction of 15%. So 15% more melee resistance. For 2 fucking turns in a giant circle. Prayer of Absolution. More armor absorption. More dodging for the Daredevils. Like, that's really fucking good too. We haven't even gotten to Healing Hands. And then there's Soulfire, which nobody takes. Maybe one day I'll use it. I don't know. It's just a group AoE that's really fucking expensive. Said no one takes it. So, like, all of these are useful. All of them. It's so hard to pick just 3, let alone even 4 I struggle to pick. So that might be something I end up doing with this Warband, is being like, yeah, Armor Proficient isn't worth it, fuck it. Or I just won't, you know, I'll drop some of these to basic, take study instead. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Maybe I find I won't ever take Healing Hands, so we'll drop Piety. They are so good. I probably just took too long to do a PvE now.
New hired swords are available.
Now, if you're just here to do PvE, yeah, take Healing Hands, man. It could save a unit's life. I'm doing PvP exhibitions where nobody actually dies. So, yeah, I think Healing Hands is worth it in PvP. So, yeah, we're going to spam Deny the Heretics. We already know that. So, I think, yeah, You can like tweak these builds to be a little different. Like one can take Word of Damnation and one can be the healer. This Prayer of Absolution's a group cast, by the way. So you bunch up a few units, you throw this on them, and they get that. Now, I don't like it as much because you have to clump up, and it's that turn. The reason this is so goddamn powerful is it's 2 fucking turns. 2 turns. Any spell that lasts 2 turns is just so money. This is 2 turns, Deny the Heretic. There's a reason people like Armor of Righteousness and Deny the Heretic. 2 turns. Now, I think these stack as well, so that's something I could take Basic and Mastery. So that'd give you 20% melee resist, and I think they would lose 2 offensive points. I think. I haven't tested that yet. I may find that I never take Word of Damnation because the Dismay runes just do enough stripping of fear. We need to start thinking about what we want. Wall Runner's cute. Assault, we can't take defensive stance. Maybe some ranged attacks again. I like Knee Shot. That can be like tricky good. That's a 15-point initiative swing. So if somebody's got 57 initiative, you shoot him in the knee, he drops to 42, you'll have your turn before him. Nerve Shot, you can break stances. We've already said that's pretty good. So if the poor Templar is locked down by some dude in Web of Steel, just do a Nerve Shot. Because I've not really seen a lot of melee stuff I like. I mean, again, maybe Careful Approach, but then you're losing 2 red pills. Then you're just really a roadblock. I think there's a lot of ways to skin these cats. We could build each one different and just test it. Which I guess is the whole point of this, right? I'm never going to fucking remember who has what, though. I don't even know their names. So there's my Knee Shotter. There's my Nerve Shotter. You take things like Stimulus even to play with the knee shots and staggering blows. Exhaustion's alright, like Wall Runner. Like this guy can do the Intimidate, run up and be the Intimidator. What were you thinking? I can't even remember anymore now. Not Insult, maybe Intimidate. I don't know. Let's do Nerves and Knees. Nerves, knees, fingers, toes, fingers, whatever that song goes, you know. All the anatomy. Quick Leap, Swift Jump. I mean, Swift Jump's nice. It saves you a blue pill. You're going to fucking fall anyway most times, right? So you don't waste a blue pill falling down. Careful Approach. That was what we were thinking. Let's just take one on that guy. See how it works out. I'm never going to fucking remember who has it.
New hired swords are available.
Alright, so that's basically the Warband, right? Like, is that over the top? I mean, it might be. Maybe we want a Shield of Faith and Healing Hands. It's cheap, though. It's cheap and it's easy to cast. Ugh. Alright, you can spam that. You can be Mr. Healer, Johan the healer. I mean, that's nice too. It's really nice. Because in PvP you face that stuff all the time. But I guess my reasoning for that would be is like, oh shit, I'm going against the sisters. You drop in an amulet of spell breaking, a shield of spell breaking, these things like that. And I think our next tournament will allow blue consumables. You pop a talisman, and so you can easily get that magic resist up from 9, which is utter shit, to something worth a damn. So let's see what it actually gets up to. If you guys want to see what I'm talking about. If you really, really want to, of course he looks like a douchebag again. That's a big problem. We're going to pop in a shield of shielding. I think that's 20. Or spell breaking. We're at 64. You can pop in a warding weapon. That's going to be 74. Alright, so this is a much easier kind of way. We're going from 9 all the way to 74. Like, holy shit, right? Bye-bye comets. Now you could say that if I took that spell, that'd take me to 100, basically. I mean, that's the point. There's so many one-handed weapons to load that the game freezes. But I guess you're seeing the point. There's a Mace of Warding. So 10 more. So 74. Pretty easily without trying much, right? The talisman will put you up there. I think talisman is 30. So even without the warding weapon, you're at 94. So that's pretty fucking good, I think. So that's my reasoning there. We don't have to worry too much about it. So that's why I'd prioritize the ones I prioritized. Prayer of Absolution only lasts 1 turn, situational. You know, we can get spell breaking shit. We're taking that on the one guy, so. Let's finish it off. I think we can do a quick match. We can actually just do a fucking exhibition or something. Oh wait, you can train something. Should we get a demon in here?
A new shipment has been requested.
You know what? Calm down, bro.
Market stock has been replenished.
Here, take it all. It's all you ever do. You greedy bastards.
New hired swords are available.
We haven't even talked about the Executioner. I plan on making an Executioner build and getting these guys in there. We could talk about these builds too. They make really heavy hitters. These guys get 21 fucking physical stats. They can't hit a fucking barn. 10 martial stats and 12 weapon skill. But boy, oh boy, are they tough, agile, and hit hard. Those fucking man tits. You know who else has man tits? This guy. Like, look at this. I didn't know this was a thing. If you put him in cloth, he's got his little man tits showing. It's kind of funny. Like, so he's not naked. He's naked. I guess this is what cloth looks like on this man. So put some goddamn clothes on. Should we do an exhibition? Oh, should we just beat this guy? Jack Black. Oh, Jack. If anyone wants to play Jack, he's waiting for you guys. This poor guy's like, I've been sitting here forever waiting for an opponent. I'd have to sit some units. We could just bring in a level 0 Executioner. Just shit on Jack. I don't think I have time anyway. God, you never see games up like that. It doesn't matter. We're going to do the AI. We want a deadly opponent. He's deadly. Who do we want to kill? I guess someone who's afraid. Skaven? Mercs? Yeah, let's make it random. They would do something where we're already like starting in battle. I think Middle Bridge. Quayside, you're on each other too. Is it Middle Bridge? Con Steinhardt's, you're like on fucking each other immediately too. See if we win, guys. Opposite end is in the map. Yeah, so yeah, in our next level 10 tournament, we are probably allowing strangling consumables because of the strangling globes and all that. Look at this randomly one unit I have faster than the rest. Dude's got 70 initiative somehow. Did I put him in? He's in leather, right? No, he's in cloth. He only has 10%. Yeah, I didn't finish building them exactly. So he'll be 60 normally. There's just going to be like a giant fight right here. This is the only way you can come out of this building. Come on, AI. You don't need to pick up word stones and shit. Just come at me, bro. Oh, yeah, there's our demon. Is that what they're doing? They're just on the plague bearer? Oh, my God. These guys really fuck with melee, or, yeah, melee resist, too. Already engaged with a victim. This guy's going to have no chance of hitting a plague bearer. This guy just spams like little poop flies and stuff. Makes it really hard to hit anything. I'm having a hard time hitting them myself. Well, we can just keep shooting the warlock in the head. It's a coin flip. We've landed it twice. Yeah, bound to miss one. Alright, so this is the point, like, oh no, I have to reload and I'm stuck here. That's why you take exhaustion. Or I could just switch weapons right now, too, to the sword and board. I could just shoot the guy again, right? Let's just shoot the guy again. No, we missed. Now, this time I'm not going to reload and just stand in the doorway like a dumbass. Our friend the Plague Bearer gets to do. What country is it? Hong Kong? How do you even have power right now? I didn't know you guys had your own flag. It's beautiful. It's like a little starfish. Are you not getting destroyed by Mancunt or whatever? That was a hurricane. Look at it, 700 HP. What a boss. So this guy's got like no chance to hit anything. He's got the Plague Sword. Stench and Nurgle, minus 25 melee. He's got open wounds. He's got hand shot. Like, poor little Wargislaw. This is why you don't get into melee with warlocks. Poor AI. They always spawn demons in the clumpiest of clumpies. So if you see like a big old clump of wordstone and you're doing a brutal or deadly, you might have a demon right there. They always spawn with like a big little, not always, but if you see like a clump of wordstone, you good chance in a brutal or deadly there's a demon standing right there. Just so you know. Are you asking what I'm testing? Yeah, but I was testing the knee shots and others, the secondary shots with the zealots. We'll just get up in there. It's going to be a good test for us for melee resistance. We're going to have some issues with melee resistance. Since that stench of Nurgle can smell them all the way out here. But there's no reason to rush in there. We'll just set up this turn. And then go to town. Irwin Bowler. Yeah, everyone's gonna line up here. Oh, who? Who you got for me? Oh, poor Wajislaw. Let's just stack some hand shots just so this poor bastard he is so fucked. And he's got the fear rune just working overtime. So, right now he's down to 3 per. Oh, that's poison. But you can see how he just dropped 24 with everything. The fear and terror and all alone. He just feels so alone inside. Oh, this poor little melee warlock. And we found the sweet spot here now too. We're going to bring every guy over here to shoot you. So we'll show off a different... Oh, he might not be able to get enough. He's used too many blue pills getting here, I think. Oh, let's shoot him in the knee. Oh, his hand and his knee. He's just not having a good day. Plus we're like landing everything on this guy. Should we check him out now? Let's see. Let's see how he's doing. He has negative 28 fear chance. He's going to be afraid before he's even afraid at this point. So, I mean, it'd just be mean to go in there and hit the guy with Armor of Righteousness. Oh, we left him on 1 HP. We like landing all of these. I feel like I'm playing a PvP right now. And I'm Rugislaw, the guy who just died. I probably should have gotten into Frenzy. I don't know if I could have with him, since I can see the AI. Saves us some blue pills later. Oh, you're going this way. Yeah, we're just setting up here. That's fun. It's a Plague Bearer. Have they gotten anyone else on him? I'm not sure they have. He might come running at me. Oh, Carl's going to get excited and get in there. He gave himself Mordheim's map. Hans Anus. Anusheim. Anus Shine. Hand Anus Shine. It's a fun name. Does his mother call him that? Alright, we're trying to show off the builds here. This is why we want to deny the heretic. And it's these little group AoE things are always so awkward to cast. He gets one less red pill now. Like, look at that. He can see the dude way back there. That's piety right there. So you know we're going to like roll stun ourselves. So let's move back here first. And put some Armor of Righteousness on these two dudes. So you see 95%. That's lovely with the Conspiracy Hammer. I told you. 3 out of 7. You knew a fucking stun was coming. He'd been I could have used Exhaustion and walked away, but that's pretty funny. It's funny when you can predict these things. And I think we want to test our melee, dude. So anyone could shoot crossbow pistols at somebody. But let's get in there, bro. You trying? Well, of course he has his cloth on. I messed that up. Did I not? Who did I just cast it on? I did cast it on him. And he does have light armor on. Why? What is wrong with me? I'm seeing the crit chance saying 10%. I thought that was cloth armor. I guess he's just fast. I guess he's at 70. Alright, and we're going to cast it on a henchman. See how they do.
A new round has started.
Boy, I was looking at that 10% crit chance. That's that like explosion, and my brain said that was 10% armor. Oh, he's coming to me. Oh, he passed the 44%, and then does 9 damage with his dagger. Carl's like, do you see that plague bearer? I am not going near him. Carl, I think you're losing this fight. You're supposed to be deadly. You're supposed to be doing extra damage on me. Poor Carl. He does have a severed leg. He had Ulr's gift too, huh? So he had the plus hit chance. Oh, just may as well reload. We're just gonna switch. Well, he's supposed to be doing like hand shots, but this is probably the problem with crossbow pistols. If you're in combat, it's gonna be hard to land these kind of things. And we're gonna kill this guy anyway, so all right. Let's test your melee prowess. I'm doing just fine. But you can see here what I was talking about. They kind of struggle with armor. This guy has 50% armor, and I have a fucking axe of perforation. But he's kind of struggling still. This has been the downfall of many a mighty witch hunter's PvP warband. And there's no reason not to like flee. So we can open it up for another unit to get in here. I wonder if the plague bearer is probably going to run towards us and start joining the fun. Or he'll run towards this guy. We'll find out here shortly. Old plaguey. Oh, goodbye, wolf priest. You're about to get pooped on. Who just charged who? Oh, there goes the poop. Stench of Nurgle, minus 25% melee ranged hit chance, less OP. I hate plague bearers. They're such a pain in the ass. We're talking about when our next tournament, maybe having demons. And I think putting plague bearers in all the maps would just be pretty hilarious. They don't kill a lot of stuff. They don't kill quickly. He doesn't do a lot of damage, but he just makes it impossible to fucking hit anything. You have no offensive points. You're always missing. It will certainly make like an 8-hour match if you have one of those sitting around. Alright, we're going to churn through this guy and then get in there and start fighting. I might not finish this battle. I'll have to start cooking dinner soon. But hopefully you'll see these guys in some PvP. Wolf Priest is the perfect target to... Okay, 100. To test some of this fear stuff on. They start with a buff to fear and all alone and terror tests. Shot him in the hand. Oh well. All these range dudes. So we can cuss at him. Talk about his mother. This guy's got an open hand. Let's get that damage up. This is where we're just going to churn through the guy. This is what you have to do. As a Templar, you just have to fight through what's in front of you. Then move on to the next victim. So that's where the staggering blow could have come into play. Could have just staggered him, and I know I would have gone before him next turn. Miss. So we can do things with these builds where we just shoot. Miss again. We've missed every shot on this guy, I believe. Reload, and this is where you always kind of want adrenaline rush on your ranged units so you can get the 3 attacks off. You can also take introspection. Here we're just testing the dismay stuff, okay? Miss again. We've gone from hitting everything to now missing everything. So I kind of want to get that knee shot. I think that'll, I haven't checked, but I think that'll shuffle the initiative order enough to kind of screw this guy up. Maybe it won't. $37. He's already slow as shit, so I don't know what I'm thinking. Missing everything. It's crazy. This man is winning the coin flips. Oh wait, we gotta go frenzy and just hammer away. It was tough to test the dismay stuff. I don't think a single shot landed on him. Then yeah, no reason to adrenaline rush. Just keep chewing through the target. He's already slower than us, so staggering blow does nothing. If we had landed any one of those 60%ers, well, he's dead anyway. Never mind. He'd be dead, is what I was going to say. Let's see what's in here. Let's take a little look around. Some poor warriors. Let's shoot the guy that's Everhard. Wonder how he got that name. He should probably talk to his doctor about that. So you can see Everhard's already pretty afraid. 14%. It's going to be tough on him if we can get in there with some stuff, or if he comes towards us. He's missing an arm, so there's no point. Oh, everybody has hand shot. I guess I forgot that. So now he is guaranteed to fail. I mean, this guy has 0% hit chance is what we've already gotten to. If he's going to fail his fear test, he's got the stench of Nurgle on him. He's just not feeling so good. Christ, you might even miss this guy just standing here with a bow. Is that him? Yeah, he's coming towards us. Fail. Oh, surprising. Yeah, 28% hit chance. So, and then we could even do the Word of Damnation, but that's a bit excessive, isn't it? I don't think I'll need Word of Damnation. We could probably give both these guys healing instead. So we can do Deny the Heretic. There's already been a couple units that have come here. Okay, it's not climbing the steps. There we go. Now pull it back. That's going to give, remember, -1 red pill, and it's going to give us 15% melee resistance, so even more melee resistance. I mean, we're getting a little excessive here, drawing it out. So let's see, Healing Hands, we have the range already. Oh, 90% cast. That's pretty good with that Conspiracy Hammer. If you don't have it, you're looking at 80. Yeah, sure. Let's spread the love. Top everyone off. I did not mean to do that.
A new round has started.
So yeah, that's about it. I mean, there's not much else to show off. We can go after the Plague Bearer. I'm really running out of time. It's 5 o'clock now, so I think I will just cut it here. And hopefully, if you guys follow along, there'll be some PvPs involving these witch hunters. As soon as I find somebody, and we'll tweak the builds and go and adapt as we play. See where we were not doing so well at PvP. See what we can improve upon, tweak some builds, and try to get them ready maybe for the next level 10 tournament. Then I'm also thinking about doing a defensive-based Chaos Warband, since I have a pure offensive-based one. It'd be fun to show off the defensive version. I'm kind of a Chaos guy to begin with, so. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to go cook dinner, and I'll see you guys around.